Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder of SportsNola.com. Yet another coaching change at Tulane. We've been through these many times. Lenny, you worked here. You saw a lot of these. I've covered this for a long time and have done games here. This is nothing new.
No, it's almost like if the calendar should say February 2nd instead of October 18th. We have definitely been here before. It seems like Groundhog Day. But the situation really is what it is. This is not something we're surprised with here today. The news that Bob Toledo has resigned or fired or whatever the case may be. The release officially says resigned, and the search is on for a new coach. And we have an interim head coach in Mark Hudson.
And the timing of this really is appropriate because of Tulane's play on the field, which has been awful for the last month, basically, and because of the fact that it gives them a head start in their search for a new coach.
It really does. There's only two coaches or jobs open right now, and that's New Mexico and Arizona. There will obviously be many more, but unfortunately this has become more of a trend in college athletics, not to wait until the end of the season. Give yourself a chance to maybe get a jump on some of those other people. And, hey, Mark Hudson gets a 6-game audition, plus Rick Dixon and his search firm gets a chance to go out and try to identify those candidates early.
Some will throw out some big names. Mike Leach's name certainly is going to come up in any coaching search. Rich Rodriguez, who was here and was the guy left at the altar in 1998, his name will certainly come up, and justifiably so. Those are a couple of big names, Lenny. I don't know that they can get those kind of guys, but certainly they'll be out there.
Well, Dixon said they will spend more than what they spent last time. If Toledo's salary was in the $500,000 range, it's going to be the whole package. It's going to be the head coach's salary. The head coach has to be able to bring in 9 assistants. That has to be a significant package as well. So Tulane is going to have to step up that package, probably to the tune of, I would think, $1 million, $1.5 million more what they were spending in the Toledo era here in terms of paying 10 people, the head coach and your 9 full-time assistants.
Local ties are great. As Rick Dixon mentioned, Chris Selfo was a local guy that was here previously. And if you're looking at local guys, it really doesn't apply to anybody that's a head coach right now. It might apply to assistants. And a couple of names that certainly come to mind are Burton Burns and Frank Wilson.
Two guys that know this area very well. Burton Burns was on the staff at Tulane, certainly knows the ins and outs here. Frank Wilson, a New Orleans guy who's up at LSU right now. Both of those guys regarded among the best recruiters in the country. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Is this job attractive enough to attract a coach from a prime staff like an Alabama or an LSU?
Well, the tone of the news conference that just ended here at Tulane, Rick Dixon talked a lot about the stadium situation and clearly wanting to get a stadium built back here on campus. Ideally, it could happen, depending on how fundraising goes, in the term of this next head coach. And if that's out there, that makes this job more attractive. Playing in the Superdome, which in essence for Tulane games can be almost like a mausoleum, it's that's not attractive. The appeal of perhaps a stadium coming on board can certainly change that perception a lot.
Well, the story will certainly avail itself in the days to come and in the weeks to come, and there's no question that ultimately you're going to arrive at a place where Tulane has a coach. The question is, will it be who they want? We know last time around, as we conclude, that they even made a run at Jim Harbaugh. We see where he's ended up.
Well, that would have been a pretty good hire, I guess, considering things. And a lot of names over the years of, you can go back to the 1920s when Tulane interviewed Newt Rockne. So it's, Tulane has at times been at least been on the radar for many great head coaches. Who will it be this time? Only history will tell that.
And history suggests that this is a very tough job and one that you don't win at, typically speaking. Can that change? Well, the administration has to change, if that's going to change, and make a full commitment, which Rick Dixon alluded to today, to being successful in football. We'll see if it happens. From Tulane University, for Lenny Vangilder, I'm Ken Trahan for SportsNola.com.